Dad just left to go down to the potato field. We're both gonna dig today. Well, one of us is gonna dig, the other one's gonna help the other one dig. Just because my dad got the potato tops killed, which is gonna be a huge help, but we did not get them mowed off yet. So we're hoping one's gonna be on the tractor and then the other can pull the weeds through the digger. That way they don't get all hung up and make us keep stopping. The dill that you've seen me really obsess over since I planted it is just now coming out into head. But now, of course, is when the weather is starting to get pretty cold, so it's not gonna grow as much. We have so much here, I don't know what we're gonna do with it all. We're not selling that much of it right now. I bunch up around 20 bunches, and it usually takes around two market days to sell it all. So at that rate, it'll take us till the end of market season and beyond to get like even half to 3/4 of the way through it. So I don't really know what we'll do. Maybe we'll talk to the other local farmers and see if they want any, just because it's beautiful and I hate to see it go to waste. I gotta keep a move on though, because Dad is moving out here. He went down over the hill by the woods and he's heading down to the potato field. If you haven't really gotten a clear view of like where stuff is located, up there was the red beets, then it's the dill. Come down the hill here, you have the potatoes and our late season patch of cole crops. You can see here how everything is dead, which is a nice thing. Now the next thing will be getting the mower in and just mowing these weeds off. And no, the spray that kills the weeds does not touch or harm the potatoes in any way, shape, or form. That is a very normal thing that all potato growers do, whether you see it on our farm or you don't see it. That's what they do in the big grocery stores and everything like that. And again, now, since we got the remnants of that hurricane, it's getting dry again. We haven't had rain in probably going on a week, and stuff is really kind of starting to suffer just a little bit. And we really don't have that much that really needs rain at this point, just basically our late season patch of cole crops. That's the main thing. So there's Dad. He's just hooking up to the digger now. We're gonna finish digging these 2 rows right here. Right there it starts and it goes back to where the tractor is. This is 100% without a doubt my favorite time of the year. I love deer hunting. I love getting everything finished up. It's just satisfying. So that really didn't go bad with 2 of us being there. Didn't skin them up at all. The weeds flowed through. But we are definitely not gonna have a lot of potatoes to store this year. We might actually need to buy. We have 2 rows of Eva left there, which is only a half row. And I think we have 2 more rows here, which again, isn't even a full half row. And then I think the rest are Norwest, which we don't really like to store. And then after that, it's all red. So we are not gonna have a ton, at least from what it's seeming like anyway. So there's these 2 really short ones here. And then there's the 2 below that I dug right out there, you can see, or kind of out there. So I don't know how many you want to dig. Unless you want to do them both. All right. So we just got out here to the pumpkin field. We have a couple orders that we have to fill, one being sugar pumpkins or field trips, whatever you want to call it. Marcus had to leave, but we have Eric and Francisco loading them up. I'm driving the tractor, and then they went through like yesterday or 2 days ago, something like that, and they got all these clipped in on piles because not only do we need for orders, but we need for the farm market. So I don't know if you can see that all the way down through there. There's piles going down. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably 20 to 30 on each pile. So that should get us through for a while. We don't like to clip too far ahead because what happens is, and this is a great example right here, the stems will dry out and they just don't look quite as pretty, even though there's nothing wrong with it. Then after they're done, we're gonna move over into the stackers. Now we cleaned all of these up until this point right up here, and then they should start full picking. We have like a pinkish blue variety. These are new this year. We have like an all blue, we have all white, we have orange, and I think that's about it. Sometimes they crossbreed a little bit and they look really cool. Like this one here, looks like cotton candy almost. That one's all green. Got a lot out here yet, but luckily we still got time yet to sell them. We have them come out here if we don't have any other jobs going on to stack them. That way, for times like this, we can come out, load up in a hurry, and get done and get on to something else or whatever we're doing, because it takes time to get all these stacked up and make sure you have all the pretty ones and stuff like that. I think my dad said this field, well, just the pumpkin field here is 5 acres. It's a lot. Whole mixture of sugar pumpkins, stackers, large pumpkins, medium pumpkins, and then all sorts of ornamentals like punkimons and orangitas and casperitas and orange hubbard and blue hubbard and butternut, acorn, spaghetti, and there's even more I'm forgetting about. Goose gourds. Next is stackers. We've never picked here. You can see how many are just laying out there ready to be picked. A lot there. I only want to get, these are for an order, so I want to make sure they're pretty nice. Just a good mixture of orange, pink, blue, and they're going to go in that cardboard bin. Yeah. And if you can, just wipe a little bit of that mud off if there's any on. All of our bins are full. Now we're moving on to gourds, which is just all sorts of different shapes and sizes and colors. Just decoratives. These are one of our biggest sellers. Then there's weeby littles. Over there's casperitas, spaghetti, butternut. We'll be getting all that here in the next couple minutes. So Eric and Francisco are getting the orangitas right here and casperitas right over there. And I'm gonna start right over here and get the weeby littles. Usually what I'll do is I'll just go through and clip everything, and I can just go back through and pick it up, kind of like potatoes. So it's going on around 4:30 now. The guys just left. I'm now out here by myself with just a couple baskets to go. I'm working on getting punkimons right now, which I think From here to that corn stalk is the end of them, and then we won't have any left for the season. These are pretty popular, I guess, just because of how cool they look. Over here is the gourds. And then we got spaghetti there. Here's a mixed bin of large pumpkins, stackers. Here's another bin of stackers for the order. That bin of sugar pumpkins and that bin of sugar pumpkins back there is ordered. The goose gourds are just to sell. This large bin here is for the farm market, just to restock bins. And then around here is orangitas, casperitas, butternut, gourds, weeby littles, punkimons, more weeby littles, more casperitas, more orangitas, and more butternut. So a really nice load. This is gonna be awesome just to have for the rest of the week now. That way we don't have to keep coming out here and, you know, just restocking. As you can see, still an absolute ton of just everything besides very little, like the punkimons we're running short on. There's so many pumpkins like we've never even seen before. We already know that we're not even gonna get close to selling all them. You can take them to what's called the Buffalo Valley Produce Auction, which is where we go sometimes to usually just buy produce, especially in the beginning of the season for our home farm market. You're not allowed to do that for like Scranton Market and the Wilkes-Barre Farmers Market. But then we get too busy and have our own produce all summer long, so we don't need to go there no more. And then usually around the fall time, if we have too many pumpkins, we'll take them out there. But if you've ever been there and you know what the Buffalo Valley Produce Auction is, you know that there is like hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, I don't even know, of pumpkins there from all the farmers around the area that take them. And they go for a little to nothing. And so it's just not worth it for us to pick them all, pay the guys to pick them. You know, you got to pay for your bins, you need your pallets, then the fuel to haul them all the way out there, and just your time alone. By the time you figure everything in, you're not making anything. So we decided we're not doing that this year. We actually cut back on pumpkins a little bit, and still we have so many pumpkins we don't even know what to begin to do with them. As far as everything else goes, like stackers, sugars, all these ornamentals, we'll get pretty close, if not actually sell out of everything. It's just mostly the pumpkins that we have too much of. And I guess I should mention, if you live close nearby or you have some means of getting here and want our pumpkins, you know, to either sell yourself or just for some odd reason, you know, either call the farm market, which is 570-379-3727, put in your orders, or message us on Facebook, whatever, get a hold of us, and hopefully we can work something out. Also, if you haven't or don't know about our Facebook page, definitely go check that out. Give us a like, follow. Today is Wednesday. Just like normal, Dad's off in Scranton, Mom's out at the home farm market. The guys are out in the field picking, and I am here just, you know, doing all the planning and doing some picking of my own, organizing, you know, just getting stuff ready. Got my mom's load unloaded at the farm market already, and the guys got a bunch of peppers picked. Had a little bit of a miscommunication, I think, not 100% positive. When I was explaining to the guys before they headed out to the field, I told them I wanted to start cleaning the field now because it's not gonna be long. Frost is gonna be here, and I wanna know exactly what we have picked and what we don't. That way we can kind of figure out how much we have and how much we need for just all of our markets. And so I told them I wanted to get all the bell off every plant. If they're really tiny, obviously we're gonna let them go, but anything like this size and bigger, I wanted to pick. So I said, pick all of the red and the green off every plant as you go. And they came back with almost all solid green. But they told me that, and this is where the part I'm not sure if they screwed up or if I screwed up or maybe nobody screwed up. They told me that the plants they were picking really didn't have any red. So they just cleaned all of the green off of them. And now those plants are done, which I guess is a good thing. So now we know that those plants are done, and I'm hoping that they got all the red, if there was any, off of those plants as well. And so now because that wasn't enough red and I know we need more for markets, I sent them back out to get another 8 or 10 baskets of red, solid red, not green this time. That way we have the mixture that we need. So the guys have now got everything in here, along with me bringing the potatoes and onions up. And the last thing they're gonna be bringing in is the squash and gourds that we picked yesterday. And you can just see how full it is. I mean, look at all that stuff. It's actually kind of crazy that we can sell all this in just a couple days. This will all be sold by Friday. Maybe have a little bit left over for Monday, but not much. So it's a little bit after 2, and one of the final jobs we're gonna be doing to end the day, for at least those guys, is gonna be getting some irrigation pipe out of the ground. DD, are you tired? He's sleeping. Come on. We only have 2 strips of irrigation pipe left in the field. The one is going through our cole crops, and the other is going through our late season pickles. Now, we haven't gotten rain in a while, so we actually could irrigate the cole crops, but it's getting too cold now to really worry about the pickles anymore. Once you start getting these low temperatures at night, especially like in the high 30s, low 40s, the pickles just really don't do much. And so we don't really think that it's worth it to irrigate them anymore. We'll just focus on the cole crops and get whatever we can out of the pickles. So I just got up here to the field. If you haven't seen it before, this is it. Just a little patch, but it produces a lot when the weather's right. Here's the irrigation pipe, and this is the rainbirds that I'm taking out. The reason we take them out is just so that it stacks easier for winter, and then next spring or summer, whenever, hopefully we don't have to use it, but if we do, then we'll just throw them back in. And so all it is getting your wrench on there, get it to the right size first off, and well, it's hard to do with one hand. Loosen that up, just like that, and then I'll twist it right out of there. It's that easy. And then we'll move on to the next. This patch is around 500 foot long, and we put a rainbird every 60 feet. So do the math, I think there's like 8 rainbirds or something like that. Maybe 9 because we put an extra one in. All right, so the rainbirds are out. Now I'll come up with the guys and get that pipe picked up.